In this video, we installed the engine, the eBay turbo, we start it up for the first time, and we take it for a maiden voyage. Let's go. Hey, I don't mean to bother you, but would you happen to have a engine noise I could borrow for about an hour? Hopefully I can fit it through here. Come on, we just need to get out there. I think this damn hoist weighs more than this engine. We are installing the engine today, ladies and germs. Got her all jacked up. I need to take it off of the engine stand, and we're gonna put her in her home. All right, we got our Clutch Masters single mass aluminum flywheel, some ARP bolts. Clutch Masters did provide these bolts, but why not do ARP, right? Got a new torque to yield bolt for the harmonic balancer. Some new torque to yield bolts for the flywheel itself. We've got a new rear main seal, so we'll go ahead and knock that in, get it set up, put our flywheel in. The clutch is around here somewhere. Anyways, let's get after it. There we go. You're gonna go in nice and easy, aren't you? Looks like a winner to me. Got our little timing plate in. Got our flywheel. And we'll torque them to 45 foot-pounds. There we go. She's not moving. So we'll do 45 foot-pounds. There we go. Now we need to do 45 and 15. Woo! That was a pain in the butt. Got them all torqued down, and they get in there pretty damn snug to the point they start creaking. And I had to put this bolt in here to keep this thing from coming out. But we got her done. Now we'll toss our clutch on. Okay, we got our ARP saying it's an M8, 25 foot-pounds. We're going to degrease this real quick. We'll degrease this surface here. Here's our clutch to hold all the power, and we'll use our alignment tool to line this guy up. So let's get after it. I'll take a little bit of assembly lube. I'm gonna try and not make a mess on all the parts we just cleaned. Pull under the head here. Take one of our washers with the chamfer side facing the bolt. It says flywheel side right here. So this guy will go on there just like that. And we'll try and line this up. Thread our bolt in. Take our alignment tool. There we go. See if we can't drive this thing on in. All right, 25 foot-pounds in a circular motion here. Might be hard to see, but one of the last things we got to do, we got a new bolt here. Got to take our little spacer, toss our pulley on. It only goes on one way. There's this little keyway here. Just kind of thread her on real quick, and we'll see our pulley. Pulley's nice and locked into its keyway. Now we just got to torque it to spec. All right, moving right along, we removed the old throwout bearing. It's a hydraulic throwout bearing. This thing was pretty jacked up, pretty easy to remove. Just got 3 little Torx bolts. There they are there. We got a new unit to toss in. Only thing that's holding it in aside from that is this little cap. It's got these little clips. In my case, I just took a hammer and pounded it out. Just took a straight shot. That's where this comes out of. The engine looks a little wet because I sprayed degreaser on it, along with some brake cleaner. We got quite a bit of crap out. I'll have to power wash this sometime down the road. But anyways, need to put the new throwout bearing in it, and then we can toss this in there. Woo! She's almost in there. Check this out. Dang! I just got to put in the bolts around the bell housing, in which I need to jack the car up pull that together. I did pull the engine completely out once. Not completely out, but separated it from the bell house. I do remember when we removed the engine, it was such a pain in the ass to separate from the bell housing, and I'm finding it very similar with putting it back in. I did rotate the crankshaft just to make sure the wheels were turning, the splines were engaged to the clutch. I did, however, have to remove some of these accessories just for it to slide in, because there just wasn't a whole lot of space for it to squeeze by. The pulley was actually resting on here, so I pulled all that stuff off. Not a big deal. So I need to crawl under the car, finish bolting up the bell housing, and then it's just connecting a bunch of sensors and all that crap for the wiring harness. Then we'll have to work on plumbing the turbo and getting the exhaust out, and we can start it up. I'm finally at a good stopping point. Check this out. I don't know if y'all are ready for this. I'm sure you are. Check this out. It is in the car. It's in the car, bolted down. Every single little bell housing bolt is torqued to spec. We've got all of our sensors hooked up aside from the ignition coils, our extended MAV sensor, which I'll shorten back down to stock length so we can have the sensor here. But we do have some projects that we need to tackle in order to finish this up. Figuring out where all this stuff went after a year and a half, I knew what I was looking at, but what connector goes to what. Thank God everything will only fit in one place. So some of the issues that I need to address is, check this out. Our wastegate is here, which it clears just fine. I had to bend the AC lines even more so. Our plastic lines go here, not a big deal, because we can unclip it from this little metal bracket and just move it on the other side. The cold side of the turbo is touching here just a little bit. Not a big deal because we still have room to pull this back, give it a little bit of a gap, and we still have a gap between the fan. And then we got to figure out a solution how we can make this route down. This is just one of the old charge pipes that was there. I can get rid of that. I just need to unbolt it and get it out the way. But I do think we have plenty of room to go down for a full 3-inch exhaust out the back. And we have plenty of room here to make it around this AC hose. We'll just kind of have to, the 90, come down through this side. We obviously already have a 2.5-inch pipe going through this side, and that will just come up here and go to our custom intake. This intake is just, ugh. Can't wait to finish that up. As far as the plumbing goes, I need to finish that up. I plan on doing hard lines aside from the drain line, and we've got plenty of space under here to clear all that stuff. We'll obviously have to go in between the AC and the fan. It might seem like there's not a whole lot of room, but I've got 4 fingers there. That's plenty of room. The oil feed's going to be hardline as well. I'll figure out how to do that. The actual plumbing for this thing, the cooling side, we have our upper and lower portion of our thermostat. I know it probably might be hard to see at this point, but you guys saw it on the engine. But this side here goes out, goes this way, and this comes that way. I've already got all the fittings and crap that I need to make that work, so it'll basically, rather than it go through the heater core initially, it'll go through the turbo and just kind of reroute things. I have hard lines to move everything over to here, so I shouldn't have to worry about that too much. Find new airspace! And I think last but not least, one of my other challenges is going to be getting this out of the way. I've got a reducer that will go to 2 3/4, which the inducer here is smaller than that. It's like 2 2/4, and I plan on just necking this thing down, getting around this. But I know people have in the past cut this plastic off, because all we have is, this thing is just a again, come on, really, a couple minutes. It's just a 2-prong connector, so I could take a Dremel, something just to cut this plastic off, remove this part of it, and just kind of bend this thing out of the way so it's sitting here like this. And that should give us plenty of space to the neck down to our 2 3/4. Put our MAF sensor here, which will shorten that back down, and then we'll make it bigger to the 3.5 inch with the bell mouth with a huge air filter. Either that, or we can just drop it straight down in there. I'm possibly just considering making a proper shield that will seal to the roof, and everything closes. Speaking of the roof, the hood. So we're looking pretty good. There's just obviously a handful of things. I don't necessarily need to address the sensor immediately once I go to fire it up for the first time, but I need to get a downpipe made at least with my wideband gauge. It's Friday. I've got all weekend to work on it. The sun's just about down. Let's get after it, and I'll check back here in a moment. Time to hook some stuff up to our turbo. This is the drain I got. It's a little straight tube piece. Comes with a little O-ring. Oops, I just fell on the floor. Gonna toss our little O-ring in there, take our bolts, and we'll thread it on in. That looks a little phallic. We got a couple banjo fittings for the coolant to go in and out of the turbo. You generally want the coolant to be at an angle. Cold going in, hot going up. All right, we're just gonna snug them up for now because we need to figure out our oil feed, which I've got this guy here. The bolt that comes with this has a 1 millimeter restrictor. This has 0 restriction. This is a 4AN fitting. However, we're going to drill this out, and we'll possibly even make this a little bit bigger. This might be fine, but we are gonna drill that out because this turbo has a built-in restrictor right there. For now, we're just gonna toss this on there just to mock things up because my drill is out of commission. I've got some fittings here to make a custom hard line. This is a 1/8 inch, this is a 4AN in. Then we've got a couple 4AN to hardline. But we need to make sure all these guys are gonna play nice together. So let's toss this on at first. Yeah, I might be able to get to those just fine. Here is the fitting for the drain. So let's make a line and then run it to our pan. We'll cut it to length and then we'll get everything else sorted out. My next mini project is routing the cooling line. I got a piece of 3/8 inch stainless steel line. We've got this Y connection here. We got a reducer from the 5/8 inch to the 3/8. So the plan is, here's the bottom hose here. There's a little arrow on this that, this is the top, the lower one. So this feeds this way, this one feeds this way. So I'm gonna tap into it with that Y right there. We're gonna run this hard line around up to this guy here, and then we'll send it back out, and we're gonna send it right here into this 3/8 inch, the overflow tank here. We're gonna do that with this little T connection. I tried finding a Y, but I couldn't, so a T will have to do. Woo, we're making some progress. I stole Shannon's car battery. Just press the clutch pedal right there. Just hold it down, and you don't have to turn it for long. You just turn it like that and it'll turn over by itself. So don't do it just yet because I need to make sure I'm catching whatever oil's coming out. All right, so we're priming the system. I got my oil feed all hooked up, my hard line. Shannon, go ahead and hit it, the key, and press the clutch. Keep going, do it again. Do it again. Shannon, do it again. 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 Oh, we're starting to get pressure. Do it again. All right, stop for a second. All right, do it again. One more time. Oh shit. Do it again. I see bubbles coming out. All right, stop. Jesus. Yeah, buddy. We're getting some oil pressure. I can see air blowing out of the valve train here. Let's toss a little bit of this oil we caught. Toss her back in there. All right, hit it one more time. Oh shit! All right, just one more time, please. All right, you can see the oil starting to pour in there. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Remember how we had to bleed the clutch that one time? Where you pump the pedal? I need you to do that. Man down! Anything but the beer. The car can blow up, but not the beer. All right, I forgot Shannon inside pumped the brakes. Top, or not the brakes, the clutch. Topping the fluid off. And right down here, this tiny little valve where we gotta have her pump it, hold it to the floor, open it up, crack it. Okay, go ahead and pump it 3 times. All right, hold it. Heard. All right, pump it. Hold it to the floor. Oh man, that stuff's black. Okay, we're moving right along. I got the head nice and degreased. We've got our MLS stock head gasket. I'm gonna toss the manifold on. I've got some new lock nuts that are copper. I did have to wrap the AC here, bent it out of the way pretty good. If I were to do this again, I'd move this up just a little bit, but it'll all squeeze in there and we'll make it work. We got the manifold wrestled in there. All the fasteners are securely tightened. Now let's move on to installing the turbo and we can put the condenser back. Goes the turbski. I think we're gonna wrap it up for the day and I'm gonna see you guys in the morning. I need to clean up and we'll continue pressing on, but check this out. Woo, she's looking pretty good. See how I got the solid lines for the coolant, got a hard line for the oil feed, and then we still need to make a down pipe for it. Aside from that, we're getting pretty damn close to first start. So I'll see you guys in a manana because I'm hungry and I need some rest. Well, it is another lovely day here in H-Tizzle, Texas. I've got my condenser on, kind of doing a final mock-up of everything. We got our wastegate on, all of our plugs in. We've got our flanges on, so now we can start making the wastegate pipe as well as the exhaust. I've got a swan neck bin, 3-inch stainless. I'll show you here in a moment. This exhaust is gonna have to be wrapped because it gets pretty close to, it'll be pretty close to where this radiator hose is at. Our drain is clearing nicely. Nice smooth transitions. Got her mocked up in the oil pan. I still need to figure out the dipstick situation. That's a whole nother project on its own. We've got our trusty wooden bench. Here's our swan neck, gooseneck, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna cut it right there. I think this will work decent. I probably will need to chop it here just a little bit, but this will at least be able to allow me to stick things down in there and see where we're at. Well, it is another day or night in this case, and I've been working hard at it. And check this out. So I've got a down pipe all made up. The welds went okay for the most part. You know, it's been a while since I did the whole header project, but came out pretty decent. Not too bad all in all. We've got a little bit of a, I forget what these things are called, a bellow. I think it's a bellow. Whatever, but it took a lot of time just to fabricate this up, make sure everything lines up with the wastegate properly. And obviously the wastegate's gonna go into the exhaust. We've got our narrowband sensor up at the top. We've got our wideband a little bit further down. It's at least a good 18 inches away. So, and then this just stops right there at underneath the oil pan, because I'm not sure I want to crawl under the car and do another exhaust system. We'll talk more about that in the future, but the main goal is to get the car running. I'm going to wrap up the downpipe with some exhaust wrap just to keep the heat away from the AC and all that. And we're so close, we're almost there. So let's go ahead and install this and get after it. Our oil stricture's all nice and drilled out. Woo, all right, so we got her all wrapped up. I'm writing the tune. Just a basic map to get it going. It's over here waiting for me to finish up. Here's how everything is looking. Ooh-wee. How many turnovers do you think it'll take to get it started?
3.
3? Okay.
Third time's the charm, right?
Okay, well, let's see. You want to hold the camera? Shannon, are you ready? Jesus. All right, we're connected. We're going to keep an eye on everything. We'll see what warnings are coming up. Heater control, circuit, blah, 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 blah. Let's clear all those. We'll hit record and let's see what we got. Let's fire it up. Let's go to AutoZone before he realizes he's not in the right car. he thinks he's going for a ride. And the car's not even running yet. We'll be back. We're going for a ride. Well, it's another day. I think I got everything sorted out. We've got just a stock ignition coil in it. Let's see if she'll fire up. Oh, don't tell me that's the rear main seal. Oh. Well, we got a leak out of the rear main seal, which I'm not too excited about. She's running a little rich, so I think I'll take some fuel out. All right, we got a new calibration written to the vehicle. Let's see what we got here. Oof. Come on. right. Let's try that again. All right, let's try that again. There. All right, let's give that another shot. You know what? Shifts any different, like it's harsher?
Yes.
A little harsher?
Well, I'm sensitive to harsh. So, I don't know, but it is harsher than it was. Or at least...
A little harsher?
I don't know. It's been a hot minute.
Alright, I'm gonna go inside and get some refreshments and we'll drive back to the shop. Oh, that smell. It smells like new engine. It's hard to describe, but it smells like new stuff cooking. We got a lot taken care of in this video. We installed the engine, got the turbo system all set up. We're driving it in A. However, we fired it up for the first time. We let it run at varying RPMs and even took it for a first drive just to put the engine under load to seal those piston rings up. And we brought the engine up to about 3-4 grand-ish a little bit and did some engine braking. In other words, letting the engine slow the car down just to really seal those piston rings up and to get about our first 20 minutes worth of just run time. We still got to fix that rear main seal issue, so be sure to stay tuned because we're going to fix that issue by pulling the transmission. And while we're at it, we can go ahead and install the limited slip differential and we'll get the car running and we'll do a little bit of a review of how it's driving now. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Until next time, peace out. You peace out.